Hello there. Deep Impact. Okay, now Deep Impact is a movie like Armageddon, just not as good.
That's right. I'm about to monologue, son.
Here's what's wrong with Deep Impact. Deep Impact basically starts off with Elijah Wood discovering an asteroid, and then it skips a year later after another scientist who looks at this kid's research dies. And a year later, basically, the world still doesn't know, and I'm not entirely sure exactly the best way to go about this because it still confuses me as to, okay, they kept this a secret for several years. Uh, Maybe you could have announced it earlier, but no, they decided not to. When did they find the research? Because apparently the research all burned up in the car crash when the scientist died, and the other kid scientist didn't exactly know what he saw. He just assumed it was something else. He didn't know it was an asteroid that was going to destroy the planet. So there were a lot of little things there that I was already confused. And then they start following the story of this reporter and her journey and her family. Like, her father got remarried to someone who's twice her age, and her mother, who basically is alone in the world now. You don't care for them at all. I never did at once, because it's just like, why are we being told to care about these people? Because they don't seem to have any say in the actual story. And then, of course, Morgan Freeman as president. I always liked him as president, but this movie is just like, it's a terrible role for him. Because, first of all, I would rather him not be a president at this kind of time, because I like him in, like, when he's actually doing something useful. Here it just seemed like he was being overly optimistic and not planning for anything, trying to just be the politician. He was only being the positive, yes, we can do this, we will succeed, and then when it all goes wrong, it was just like, oh, but we had a plan B. I was like, why not just be upfront with the people from the beginning? If this doesn't succeed, we're working on a plan B, because the funny thing is, when the first plan doesn't succeed and makes things worse, guess what happens? Because they didn't mention that they had a plan B beforehand, everyone starts rioting. The whole place goes to the purge. So it was one of those things, just like, you could have really just done the research beforehand, figured this out, and just told the people, oh, we also have bunkers, we're going to do a lottery, we're doing this, but this is the age gap for those, but we don't need to worry about that. So that way people can at least mentally be prepared. They know the first plan will succeed, but you are prepared for an alternative. So it's one of those things, just like, what the heck? And then there's also this other group of people, the astronauts who go up into space, which honestly I do not care for either. The problem is it just kept jumping around from Elijah Wood's story to I forgot her name, Kate, well, whoever the news reporter's story, to the president's story, to the astronaut story. And the biggest issue they had was, not at any single point did they ever actually converge to be one solid story. They all tended to be their own story. And because they remained their own story, I was not interested in a single one of them, because I felt like I was watching a television series where each episode was a different character's story. And it was just like, I would enjoy that far more than I did this, because we only had like 5 minutes with each person at any given time. So I just didn't care for it. It's just like, how is this one that bad? I guess it is still better than the core, because each character still somewhat had a drive and you could tell, but still, you had too many characters. I mean, a lot of movies tend to have this mistake where they try to throw too much at the wall and nothing sticks because of it. It all starts to fall off. It's best to just throw one thing there. 2 movies came out the same year, which were basically an asteroid going to destroy the Earth. Deep Impact, which had a great cast, and Armageddon, which had a great cast. Only one of which are actually always talked about. And anyone would know what that is. Armageddon. But yeah, this one was just terrible. I did not understand any of it. The Great Flood thing, where the first asteroid lands, the second one gets destroyed, the fact that they gave up and didn't run the analytics, ran these tests to find out that there was a weak point on the bigger asteroid. When they launched the world's nukes at them, they could have targeted that one weak spot. So it made no sense, the fact that it was the ship in space with the astronauts that destroyed it. But I digress. not a film worth watching. If you wish to watch an asteroid destroy an Earth, what would it be called? An Armageddon-like movie. Watch Armageddon. Don't watch Core. Don't watch Deep Impact. I guess Independence Day would work, but yeah, not really a good film.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.